Okay, thank you for bearing with us. Just for anyone that might be watching this on the live stream, it was a decision of the hearing panel to hold this inquiry not in public. So that's what we've done. However, when we come to the decision we've come to and announcing that, we decided the best course of action was to live stream that for those watching. And just to be clear, we're talking about complaint RP 541751 and RP 542466. We've looked at all the facts that were presented to us, including some that we've received today, and we've looked at all of that. And the first thing I wanted to say was that this case is by no means a sort of black and white case. There were things for us to consider on both sides of the equation. However, we agree with the investigating officer's findings that the subject member has broken the following paragraphs of the Town Council Code: 1.2, disrespect; 2.2, harassment; and 5.1, bringing the office of councillor into disrepute. For all the reasons set out in the investigating officer's report and the subsequent information presented to us, particularly the volume of correspondence between the subject member and others. So, we then turn to the sanctions that are available to us, having come to the conclusion that the code has been broken. And of those that are open to us, we believe the appropriate sanction is for us to censure the subject member, and that we will do in writing once the legal officer has drafted an appropriate response, and I as chairman have agreed to that. So with that, I think we can draw this to a close, but would the legal officer like to say anything in conclusion?
No, Chairman. We could just, for the purposes of the meeting, just say a couple of sentences about the reasons why you wanted to censure, or the nature of that censure, the tone that you would, or the content you would like me to put in that letter.
Well, during the course of looking at the information presented to us, the tone of some of the correspondence between the complainant and the subject member was not that which we would expect between an employer and an employee, and the volume of correspondence going backwards and forwards was also not that which we considered reasonable. I think the subject member had reasons to be anxious, but expressed that in a way that, as I say, brought the code into disrespect. The conduct of a councillor into disrespect. I can't really go into further detail because that would start to identify either the subject member or the complainants, and for reasons that we set out at the start of this investigation, that was something we didn't want to do.
Thank you, Chairman. As we advised earlier, that there will be a written decision notice within 14 days, full days, not working days, which we will endeavour to try and do earlier than that. But it will follow to all of the parties in the... you will, as complaints, will get copies. Again, they will be carefully worded just to make sure we don't disclose anything, but that will be a public document.
Okay, in conclusion, thank you to the investigating officer for your report and your attendance today. Thank you to members of the committee. Thank you to the legal officer and Mrs. Hall. Thank you too for coming along.